Jai Saparikashi Shri Guru Gaurachandra Ju Ki Jai. Jai Shri Giriraj Govardhan Ju Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramhansa Parivrajaka Astaterasati Shri Sriman Srila Bhakti Sundar Govindadev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramhansa Parivrajaka Astaterasati Shri Sriman Srila Bhakti Rakak Sri Dardev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Welcome to Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mission morning class. Please excuse how late we're starting. Several factors contributed to that, I'm afraid. Dandavat. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Chita Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitangstam Sajivam Sadvetam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitangscha Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Tadati Svapadantikam Haribo. Jai. Now we're beginning the second volume of the Antya Lila of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, the deliverance of Gopinath Patanayaka. Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhaktavinda.
Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhaktavinda.
Jai Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj Ki Jai Srila Om Vishnupad A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. All right, text number 1 of chapter 9 of the Antya Lila, which is the first chapter in the second volume. Aganya Danya Chaitanya Gananang Prema Vanyaya Ninye Danya Janasvanta Marushasvadanupatam. The innumerable glorious followers of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu brought a constant flood to the desert-like hearts of the unfortunate with an inundation of ecstatic love. Wow. Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya Jai Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Doyamoy Jai Jai Nityananda Karuna Hridoy. All glories to Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who the most merciful incarnation. All glories to Lord Nityananda, whose heart is always compassionate. Jaya Dvaita Charja Jaya Jaya Doyamai Jaya Gora Bhakta Gana Shabarasamai. All glories to Advaita Acharya, who is very merciful. All glories to the devotees of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who are always overwhelmed by transcendental bliss. E Mata Mahaprabhu Bhaktagana Shange Nila Chale Basha Karena Krishna Prema Range. That Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu lived at Nilachal, Jagannath Puri, with his personal devotees, always merged in ecstatic love for Krishna. Antare Bahire Krishna Viraha Taranga Nana Bhave Vyakula Prabhu Ramana Ara Anga. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu always felt waves of separation from Krishna, externally and internally. His mind and body were agitated by various spiritual transformations. Dine Nritya Kirtana Jagannatha Darshana Ratre Rai Swarupa Shane Rasa Asvadana. During the day he chanted, danced, and saw Lord Jagannath in the temple. At night he tasted the transcendental bliss in the company of Ramananda Rai and Swarup Damodar. Tri Jagatera Loka Ashikarena Darashana Jai Dekeshe Paya Krishna Premadana. People from the three worlds used to come and visit Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Anyone who saw him received the transcendental treasure of love for Krishna. Manusyera Veshe Deva Gandharva Kinara Shaptapatale Rajata Daitya Vishadhara. The inhabitants of the 7 higher planetary systems, including the demigods, the Gandharvas and the Kinnaras, and the inhabitants of the 7 lower planetary systems, Patala Loka, including the demons and serpentine living entities, all visited Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the dress of human beings. Wow. Wow, including the demons. Shapta Dvipe Navakande Vaishe Jata Jana Nana Veshe Ashikare Prabhura Darashana. Dressed in different ways, people from the 7 islands and 9 khandas visited Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Prahlada Bali Vyasa Shuka Adi Munigana Ashi Prabhu Deki Preme Haya Achetana. Prahlad Maharaj, Bali Maharaj, Srila Vyasadeva, Shukadev Goswami, and many other great sages came to visit Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Upon seeing him, they became unconscious in ecstatic love for Krishna. So all kinds of living beings we're hearing here came for the mercy of Mahaprabhu. It reminds me of a story that anyway, in Thailand, Krishna Priya Didi, in Thailand, she saw, when Gurudev was staying there, she saw many ghosts of different types, a horde of them coming to where Gurudev was staying. And they were suffering so much. And they came to see Gurudev so that they could get some relief from their suffering. So it's, in that plane, it's rather a mystical plane. It's Bhuvar Loka. We're in Bhu Loka, and Bhuvar Loka is like a subtle plane where the subtle living entities are living of different kinds, but mainly kind of ghostly. And they were all coming to Gurudev for relief. And she saw that happening. And so, all these different living beings from different planetary systems, not only the upper planetary system, but we're hearing here the lower planetary systems where the demons and serpentine kind of living beings are residing. They also came to get the darshan of Mahaprabhu. Purport. According to the opinion of some historians, Prahlad Maharaj was born in Treta Yuga in the city of Multan, in the state of Punjab. He was born of Hiranyakashipu, a king of the dynasty of Kashyapa. Prahlad Maharaj was a great devotee of Lord Vishnu, but his father was very much against Vishnu. Because the father and son thus differed in their consciousness, The demon father inflicted all kinds of bodily pain upon Prahlad. When this torture became intolerable, the Supreme appeared as Nrsingadev and killed the great demon Hiranyakashipu. Bali Maharaj was the grandson of Prahlad Maharaj. The son of Prahlad Maharaj was Virochan, and his son was known as Bali. Appearing as Vaman and begging Bali Maharaj for 3 feet of land, the Lord took possession of the entire 3 worlds. Thus Bali Maharaj became a great devotee of Lord Vamana. Bali Maharaj had 100 sons, of whom Maharaj Bana was the eldest and most famous. Banasura was defeated by Krishna. Vyasadeva was the son of the great sage Parashara. Other names for him are Satyavateya and Krishna Dvaipayana. Badarayana Muni. As one of the authorities on the Vedas, he divided the original Veda for convenience into 4 divisions: the Sama, Yajur, Rig, and Atharva. He is the author of 18 Puranas, as well as the theosophical thesis Brahma Sutra and its natural commentary, Srimad Bhagavatam. He belongs to the Brahma Sampradaya and is a direct disciple of Narada Muni. Shukadeva Goswami is the son of Vyasadeva. He was a brahmachari fully conscious of Brahman realization, but later he became a great devotee of Lord Krishna. He narrated Srimad Bhagavatam to Maharaj Parikshit. Bahire pukare loka darshanana panya, Krishna kaha balena prabhu bahire asiya. Being unable to see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the populace outside his room would make a tumultuous sound. Thus Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would go outside and tell them, "Chant Hare Krishna. Prabhu Radha Shane Shabaloka Prema Base, E Mata Jaya Prabhura Ratri Divase." All kinds of people would come to see the Lord, and upon seeing him, they would be overwhelmed with ecstatic love for Krishna. In this way, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu passed his days and nights. And Guru Maharaj, I heard just in the last couple of days, Guru Maharaj talking about this inconceivable influence of Mahaprabhu, that the whole universe was completely liberated by him. And then other living beings came within the universe from the Brahma Jyoti, from the Brahman platform, and some from other universes. Akadina loka ashi prabhure nivedila, gopinatere badajana change chadaila. One day people suddenly came to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and informed him, Gopinath Patanayaka, the son of Bhavananda Rai, has been condemned to death by the Badajana, the eldest son of the king, and has been raised on the Changa. So, the Changa was the device for killing a condemned person. It consisted of a raised platform on which the condemned was made to stand. Underneath the platform, there were stationary upright swords. The condemned man would be pushed down onto the swords, and in this way he would die. For some reason, Gopinath Patanayaka had been condemned to death and had therefore been raised upon the Changa. Tale kadga patitare upare daribe, Prabhu raksha karena jabe tabe nishtaribe. The Badajana has placed the swords beneath the platform, they said, and will throw Gopinath upon them. O Lord, only if you protect him will he be saved. Savangshe Tamara Sevaka Bhavananda Rai, Taraputra Tamara Sevake Rakite Jujai. Bhavananda Rai and his entire family are your servants. Therefore it is quite fitting for you to save the son of Bhavananda Rai. Prabhu kahe raja kene karaye tadana, tabi se loka kahe shaba vivarana. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu inquired, why is the king chastising him? Therefore, the people described the entire incident. Gopinath Patanayaka Ramananda Bai Sarvakala Naiteha Raja Bishai. They say Gopinath Patanayaka, the brother of Ramananda Rai, has always been a treasurer of the government. Malajacha Dandapate Tara Adhikara Sadipadi Ani Dravyadila Rajadwara. He served in the place known as Malajatya Dandapat, soliciting and collecting money there and depositing it in the government treasury. Dui Laksha Kahana Tara Tani Baki Haila Dui Laksha Kahana Kaudi Rajata Magila. Once when he deposited the collection, however, a balance of 200,000 kahanas of conch shells was due from him. Therefore the king demanded this sum. There was some missing money, in other words. Teha kahe stula dravya nahi jegani diba krame krame vechi kini dravya bariba. Gopinath Patanayaka replied, "There is no money I can immediately give you in cash. Please give me time. Gradually I shall purchase and sell my gross goods and in this way fill your treasury." Gadadasha barahai laha mulya kari atabali goda ane rajadware dari. There are 10 to 12 good There are 10 to 12 good horses. Take them immediately for a proper price. After saying this, he brought all the horses to the door of the king. Aka Rajaputra Godara Mulya Balajane Tare Pataila Rajapatra Mitra Sane. One of the princes knew how to estimate the prices of horses very well. Thus the king sent for him to come with his ministers and friends. Sei Rajaputra Mulya Kare Gatanya Gopinatera Kroda Haila Mulya Shuniya. The prince, however, purposely gave a reduced estimate for the value of the horses. When Gopinath Patanayaka heard the price quoted, he was very angry. Sei Rajaputrera Swabhava Griva Piraya Ordra Mukhe Bara Bara Iti Uti Chaya. That prince had a personal idiosyncrasy of turning his neck and facing the sky, looking here and there again and again. So he would put his head like this and look around. Tare nindakare kahe shagarva vachane Raja kripakare tate baya nahimane. Gopinath Patanayaka criticized the prince. He was unafraid of the prince because the king was very kind towards him. Amara goda grivana piraya udve nahi chai tate godara mulya gati karite na yuyai. Gopinath Patanayaka said, "My horses never turn their necks or look upward. Therefore the price of them should not be reduced." He's saying, they're not like you. There's nothing wrong with them. They're not doing this and looking around. So he's making a joke at the expense of the prince. Shuni Rajaputra Mani Kroda Upajila Rajaratani Jay Bahu Lagani Karila. Hearing this criticism, the prince became very angry. Going before the king, he made some false allegations against Gopinath Patanayaka. Kodinahi dibe bedaya chadmakari agyadeha jadi change chodanya lai kauri. This Gopinath Patanayaka, he said, is unwilling to pay the money due. Instead, he's squandering it under some pretext. If you issue an order, I can put him on the changa and thus realize the money. Rajabali Jay Bala Se Karajai Je upaye kodipai kara se upai. The king replied, you can adopt whatever means you think best. Any device by which you can somehow or other realize the money is all right. Rajaputra ashitare change chadaila kadaga upare pelaite tale kadaga patila. As the prince went back, raised Gopinath Pattanayaka onto the platform of the Changa and spread swords below upon which to throw him. Shuni Prabhu kahe kichukare pranaya rosha rajakode ditenare rajara ki badosha. After hearing this explanation, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu replied with affectionate anger, Gopinath Pattanayaka does not want to pay the money that is due the king. The Lord said, how then is the king at fault for punishing him? Raja bila chadikai nahi rajabai dari natuyare diyakare nanavyai. Gopinath Pattanayaka is in charge of collecting money on behalf of the government, but he misappropriates it. Not fearing the king, he squanders it to see dancing girls. Jai chatura se kuruka raja bishai raja dravya shodipai tara karuka vyai. If one is intelligent, let him perform service to the government, and after paying the government, he can spend whatever money is left. He nakale aloka aila danya paninatari savangshe lanyagela bandiya. At that time, another person came there in great haste, bringing the news that Baninath Rai and his entire family had been arrested. Prabhu kahe raja apane lekara dravya laiba ami virakta sannyasi tahe ki kariba. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, the king must personally realize the money that is due. I am but a sannyasi, a member of the renounced order. What can I do? Tabe swarupade jata prabhura bhakta gana prabhura charane sabe kaila nivedana. Then all the devotees headed by Swarup Damodar Goswami fell at the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and submitted the following plea. Ramananda Rayera Goshti Shabatomara Dasa Tomara Uchita Nahe Aichana Udasa. All the members of Ramananda Rai's family are your eternal servants. Now they are in danger. It is not befitting for you to be indifferent to them in this way. Shuni Mahaprabhu kahe sakrodavachane mora agya deha shabe nyara rajastane. After hearing this, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spoke in an angry mood. You want me to go to the king? He said. Toma shabara e matara jatanya janya kodi magi lamuni anchala patiya. Your opinion is that I should go to the king's palace and spread my cloth to beg money from him? Panchagandhara patrahaya sannyasi brahmana magilevad kene dibe duilakshakana. Of course, a sannyasi or brahmin may beg for up to 5 gadas, but why should he be granted the inappropriate sum of 200,000 kahanas of conch shells? So the sannyasi apparently there was a limit on how much he could beg from someone. And he said, a sannyasi can beg for that, but you want me to go and beg for 200,000 kahanas of conch shells from the king? That's what my job should be? He nakale aloka aila danya Kadegara upare gopinate dite chadariya. Then another person came with the news that Gopinath had already been set up to be thrown upon the points of the swords. Shuni prabhura gana prabhure kare anunaya prabhu kahe ami bhikshuka ama haite kichunai. Hearing this news, all the devotees again appealed to the Lord. But the Lord replied, I'm a beggar. It is impossible for me to do anything about this. Tate raksha karite jadihai sabarabane shabe meli janaha jaganatera charane. Therefore, if you want to save him, you should all pray together to the lotus feet of Lord Jagannath. Ishvara Jagannatha Jarahate Sarva Artha Kartum Akartum Anyata Karite Samartha. Lord Jagannath is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He possesses all potencies. Therefore, he is able to act freely and can do and undo whatever he likes. Iha jadi Mahaprabhu etika kahila Hari Chandana Patra Jai Rajare Kahila. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu replied in this way, an officer named Hari Chandan Patra went to the king and spoke to him. Gopinatha Panat Patanayaka Sevaka Tomara Sevakera Pranadanda Nahe Vyavahara. After all, he said, Gopinath Patanayaka is Gopinath Patanayaka is your faithful servant. To condemn a servant to death is not good behavior. Vishesha tahara tanyiko dibakihai prananile kiba laba nijadanakshay. His only fault is that he owes some money to the government. If he's killed, however, what profit will there be? The government will be the loser, for it will not get the money. Yatata mudye godalaha jebabakihai krame krame dibe vyarta prana kenelai. It would be better to take the horses for a proper price and let him gradually repay the balance. Why are you killing him unnecessarily? Rajakahe e bat aminahi jani pranakene lai batara darvya chahiyami. The king answered in surprise, I did not know about all this. Why should his life be taken? I only want the money from him. And so the prince had relayed things in an inaccurate way. He's saying, I'm going to put him on the chunga and get the money, meaning if he goes on the chunga, he's going to give us the money. He'll be frightened. And, he's cheating, he's not going to give it, he just said it wrong. So the king was surprised at this. He was actually going to get killed. Tumiyai karataha sarva samadana dravya jaiche aishaya rahe tara prana. Go there and adjust everything. I want only the payment, not his life. Tabe haris chandana ashi janare kahila change haite gopinate shigra namaila. Harichandan then returned and informed the prince of the king's desire, and immediately Gopinath Patanayaka was taken down from the changa. Dravya deha rajamage upaya puchila yatata mulye godalaha tena na kahila. Then he was told that the king demanded the money due him and asked what means he would adopt to pay it. Kindly take my horses, he replied, for a proper price. Krame krame dimuara jata kichupare avichare pranalaha ki balite pari. I shall gradually pay the balance as I can. Without consideration, however, you were going to take my life. What can I say? Yatata mulyakari tabe shabagoda laila Ada dravyera mudati kare pataila. Then the government took all the horses for a proper price. A time was set for the payment of the balance, and Gopinath Patanayaka was released. Ata Prabhu se manusyere prashna kaila, paninata ki kare jabe bandiya anila. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu inquired from the messenger, what was Vaninath doing when he was arrested and brought there? So the Vaninath, right, it was also arrested along with his entire family. Se kahi Vaninath nirbaye laya Krishna nam, Hare Krishna kahe avishram. The messenger replied, Jai Mahaprabhu ki jai, Jai Giraju ki jai. The messenger replied, he was fearlessly, incessantly chanting the Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shankya lagi dui hate angulite lekha, Sahasradi purna haile ange kate reka. He counted the chants on his fingers of both hands, and after he had finished chanting 1,000 times, he would make a mark on his body. This is how he was keeping track of his chanting. Shuni Mahaprabhu haila parama ananda ki bujite pare gaurera kripa chanda banda. Hearing this news, the Lord was very pleased. Who can understand the mercy of the Lord upon his devotee? Hanakale kashimisha aila prabhustane prabhutare kahe kichu sodvega vachane. At that time, Kashimisha came to the residence of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and the Lord talked with him with some agitation. At that time, Kashimisha came to the residence of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and the Lord talked with him with some agitation. Iha rahite nari jamu alanata, Iha rahite nari jamu alanata, Nana upadrava iha napai soyata. I cannot stay here any longer, the Lord said. I shall go to Alalanat. There are too many disturbances here and I cannot get any rest. Bhavananda Rayera Goshti Kare Rajbishaya Nana Prakare Kare Tara Raja Dravya Vyaya. All the family members of Bhavananda Rai are engaged in government service, but they spend the government's revenue in various ways. Raja Raki Dosha Raja Nija Dravya Chaya Dite Nare Dravya Danda Amare Janaya. What is the fault on the part of the king? He wants the government's money. However, when they are punished for failing to pay the government its due, they come to me to release them. I'm going to stop here. So this is very instructive also. Of course, everything that Mahaprabhu does is extremely instructive for the world. And he's saying they're doing wrong, and then they come to me for relief. What am I going to do? This is very disturbing. But anyway, we'll hear more about this, but this is very, very instructive. Jai, Jai Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki Jai. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj ki Jai. Srila Om Vishnupad A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai. Now, Upadesamrita. Jai Srila Rupa Goswami Pad ki Jai. Vacho vegam manasakroda vegam jiva vegam udaropasta vegam etan veganyo vishaheta dira sarvam apimam prativim sasisyad atyahara prayasascha prajalpo niyamagraha Janasangaschaloyam cha sadbir bhaktir vinashati utsahan nishchayadarya tat karma pravartanat sangatyagat sato vite sadbir bhakti prasidyati tadati pratigrahnati guhyamakyati prichati bhunkte bojayate chaiva sadvidam pritilakshanam krishneti yasya giritam manasadriyeta dikshasti chet pranatibhi cha bhajantamisham shishishaya bhajana vigyam mananyamanya nindari shunya hridamipsita sangalabdya Tishtai svabhava janite vapushascha dosher na prakritatvam iha pakta janasya pasyet gangam vasanna kalu buddhapena panker brahmadravatvam apakachati niradharmai. Oh, okay, now this is on again. Maybe it needs to be charged or something. It keeps going off. Okay, so, and now number 7. Syat Krishna Nama Charitari Sitapya Vidya Pito Patapta Rasana Syararochikanu Kinvadarana Kalu Saiva Justa Swadvikramad Bhavati Tadgadamula Hantri. And then number 8. Tannama Rupa Charitari Sukirtananu Smityo Kramena Rasana Manasi Niyoja Tishtam Brajetad Anuragi Jaganugami Kalam Naye Rakilam Ityupadesha Sharam. So this is the 8th verse, and we're reading the commentary here and this is now on page 200. These are commentaries from various talks of Srila Guru Maharaj. And Srila Guru Maharaj has just described the different stages of development of Krishna, love of Krishna. All the way from Agyata Sukritya and now coming to the stage of Prema. We don't have much time, but I want to go over this again. So I'll just continue with this. Jai, Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Then comes the stage of Prema, which is so desirable for us. Our spiritual relationship with Krishna develops in this way, excluding the plane of body consciousness, mind consciousness, and reason, which is applied in the loss and gain of this transient world. All of that will be eliminated completely. So sometimes we just generally do judge all of the circumstances of our life according to a particular type of reason. But that will all be erased. Srila Guru Maharaj says Krishna is completely independent. And he is the absolute good, therefore he is the autocrat. The absolute good must have his own freedom. What will manage him or restrict his freedom? He can do whatever he wants. There's never anything wrong. It's all auspicious and all beautiful. So we must try to understand these things. And later on, in this stage of prema that Guru Maharaj is describing, there is no calculation in that plane at all. That has all been erased. It's nonsense. Ata shakti stato bhavas tata prema bhyadanchati sadhakanam ayam premna pradurbhave bhavet kramaha. Prema Bhakti is the third and final stage. And within that, our further stage of development, Sneha, Mana, Pranaya, Raga, Anuraga, Bhava, and Mahabhava. So there is another Bhava. And that is coming as a further stage in Prema. All these stages and their signs have been described in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. First, we have a sort of peep of inquiry into eternal life, Shraddha, then association with the experts of that plane, Sadhu Sangha. Then we go on doing what is recommended by them, Bhajana Kriya. Then undesirable things are eliminated fully, Anartha Nivritti. Then we get our continuous position in divine life, Nishta. Then we experience real attraction for that sort of spiritual life, Ruchi. Then so many symptoms of divine life come down into our own existence, Bhava Bhakti. Then gradually we merge into the interest of God and find our true self there, only in our relationship with Him, Prema Bhakti. These are the subdivisions. Real taste is created only after the stage of Nishta. Super important. We're getting certainly some gratitude, some feelings of so many different kinds of relief and some increase of faith is all coming. But the real stage of feeling is after complete steadiness, where there isn't any interruption at all in Krishna consciousness. That's Nishta. Real taste, Ruchi, is created only after the stage of Nishta. In the lower position, sometimes some taste is seen to be present within us, but sometimes our mind is thrown in another way. This is not taste proper. Taste proper is to be located after Nishta. If we feel any taste within our heart at that stage, then that is a bona fide taste. Otherwise, it is some kind of appreciation or something like that, but it is not like the actual divine taste of love. There we can depend on our own inner tendency and may not care much about the formalities of worship. For example, rules and regulations are necessary for a nanny taking care of another woman's child. But for the mother who has affection for the child, such regulations are not necessary. Out of affection, the mother will look after the child. Though rules and regulations are necessary, because the mother's natural affection for the child will force her to look after the child. Formalities are necessary only for a midwife, for someone who is not taking care of her own child. She should give the child milk twice or thrice. She should do this thing and that thing. There is duty. But when affection comes from within, then regulations are slackened. When affection, the inner awakenment of the soul, the inner affection and attraction we feel for Krishna, the Lord of our heart, arises, then the regulations are slackened. Vaidya bhaktyadikari tu bhavavir bhavanadvadi. Okay, so this is also touching on this question of my goodness, my brain's not working. Niyamagraha is touching on that, on Niyamagraha. But that is also something we are considering in our present practicing position. But then we have to understand that gradually, when someone comes to this stage of ruchi, of actual taste, then there is going to be some slackening of the rules, because there's a spontaneous outpouring of service. That's becoming spontaneous at that point. Hari Bol. All right. Very wonderful. Hare Krishna. Jai Sri Upadesamrta ki jai, Sri Rupa Goswami ki jai. Hari Bol, Sri Rupa Nuga Guru Varga ki jai.
When you grab the Mridanga, I lower the volume. So we take care of Ganga Lila Devi and Sriman Mahaprabhu.
What was that? Or I can actually just push this away from the mridanga.
No, it's not enough.
It's not.
It would be because of the wide microphone.
Should I move it?
No, I just lowered the input.
Okay. All
So
right.
we're good now. You're good to go.
Okay, but what I mean is, like, when you're busy or something? No.
Oh, well. I will just go. Real quick.
Hari Hari Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha. Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha. Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudan. Giridhari Gopinath Madana Mohan. Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Chandra. Radha Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghuna. Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghuna. Hey Jai Gosai Gauri Chadana Bandhan. Jai Te Vignanasha Vistapura. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gauri Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gauri Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Jai Siparika Shri Guru Gaur Chandra Ju ki jai, Shri Giriraj Govardhan Ju ki jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Rakak Sri Dev Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Shri Rupa Nuga Guru Varga ki jai. Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Madhacharya Vrinda ki jai. Sannyasi Vrinda ki jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. Sad Goswami Prabhu ki jai. Saparshad Sriman Mahaprabhu ki jai. Saparshad Shri Nityananda Prabhu ki jai. Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shyama Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhan ki jai. Jai Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat ki jai. Tadi Shaka Mat ki jai. Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Mission ki jai. Kol Kartal ki jai. Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Samaveda Vaishnava Mandala ki jai. Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Nittai Gaur Premanandi Haribo Jai. Beautiful Mahaprabhu, beautiful Giriraju ki jai. Haribo. Dandavat. Offline?
Dandavat to Viman Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat to Gauranga Lila Devi, Dandavat to Tunga Rasa Didi, and Dandavat to Kumkum Didi.
Dandavat. Please excuse me this morning a little. I don't know, I feel quite tired today, so I don't know. A little spaced out, I guess.
Also, good morning to Kyo, Hare Krishna, and Bhakti Boni.
Oh, Bhakti Bani, nice to have you with us.
Dandavat.